What's up guys, it's the StrongBoys19 here. So this is my next album review for my YouTube account, and I got a request by a YouTube user to do an album review on this album that I'm going to be reviewing right now. So I'm going to post you guys the YouTuber in the description, and he requested me to do an album review on the new album from Upon a Burning Body named Red, White, Green. Okay, this album came out sometime in March, and the label for this album is Submarine Records. I believe that's how I pronounce it. And this album is distributed by Plastic Head, the website plastichead.com. It has 11 tracks, and for those who don't know the band, they're a metalcore / deathcore band from Texas, and they've released their first CD, but now they have released their second CD, Red, White, Green, and I spotted this at HMV while I was at town, so I thought I'd buy it and give it a good whirl, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on this album. And this album review is a 3-pack review between myself, Metal 6 is 6art6, and Weekly Metal Reviews. And I'm going to post you guys the links in the description box so that you guys can check them out. So, what do I think of Red, White, Green by Upon a Burning Body? This album isn't one of the best 2012 albums so far this year, which is a shame for me, because we all know that 2012 has been a brilliant, awesome year for all sorts of metal and rock albums from all sorts of rock and metal bands out there. And I never heard of Upon a Burning Body before, so I decided to check them out since the YouTuber requested me to check them out because of their new album. And this album is not horrible, it isn't terrible, but this album is meh. That's all I can say about this album. It's just the word meh. That's just me. It's my opinion. We all like different things, and we all like different tastes of music from all sorts of rock and metal bands from all of these albums. So if you like this album, that is fine. But me personally, I am not a particular fanatic of this album, so yeah. And I just couldn't be really bothered to describe most of these tracks on this album because I just don't know what to say about them. There's not a lot of brilliant songs on here, but some of them are okay, like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Desperado, possibly Mimic and Predators, and possibly From Dusk Till Dawn. But the others don't seem to interest my taste at all. I know that this band is a metal band, but I just really couldn't get into this album, guys, so I apologise to those fans who really like this album a lot. So, there's been a lot of elements of metalcore and deathcore from basically most of these songs on this album, except the 5th track named El Mariachi. I believe that's how I pronounce it right. If not, then I'll have to pronounce these words better next time. And I don't think some of the song structures are creative enough for me, and there's been potential breakdowns on this album, like all sorts of metal bands that have a lot of breakdowns, like Immure and Suicide Silence, for example, and all sorts. Well, Upon a Burning Body is just like that, but this band doesn't have a lot of breakdowns that have been involved from these song structures on this album. So yeah, I'm just pretty speechless and pretty quiet for this album review because I just don't really know what to say about this album. So yeah, if you like metalcore or deathcore, or possibly metalcore with deathcore together, then you could possibly check out Upon a Burning Body. This band could be the perfect band for you if you like all sorts of deathcore or metalcore. So that's just basically my album review for Upon a Burning Body's Red, White, Green. And like I said, I just don't know what to say about it. But don't get me wrong, the sound of the instruments, the drums, the guitar work, the bass guitar work, and the vocals sound really clear. Some of the songs are pretty okay on this album, but other than that, I just really couldn't get into this album one bit. So I wouldn't even add this album in my top 10 favourite albums of 2012. So this album is a bit of a disappointment to me, and I'm not too familiar by this one, so yeah, I should, just go back and listen to better metal and rock albums that have been released this year. And there is still more to come for more awesome and great albums from all sorts of bands, and possibly some more bad albums from different bands out there. So yeah, so that's my review for the new CD from Upon a Burning Body, Red, White, Green. I wouldn't give this album a high score, I wouldn't give this album a low score, but I'm going to give this album a medium, average score of 3 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment and subscribe, and there's going to be more videos coming to my channel really soon in the future, so rock on guys.